How's everybody doing? My name is Alan Roberts. Pleasure to join you tonight. Sorry about that. My microphone crapped out for a second, but it's back. So, some very good news and some very obvious news for a lot of people. So, can you hear me now, Greg? You should be able to hear me now. So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about at first talk, a lot of people's insurance premiums are going to go up, and people are blaming us on the current administration. This wasn't even the last administration's fault, to tell you the truth. This was always going to happen. It is how these subsidies were set up to take care. I mean, the last administration a little bit, but Obamacare was a basically gift to the insurance companies. I've said this for a long time, even when I was in healthcare. If you don't set a barrier for corporations to if they can optimize their profits, you can't have a for-profit industry that you have a mandate to use. These people can charge whatever they want, and this was always how it was going to be. The craziness that Obamacare flies completely in the face of what would lower costs. Like if you give insurance companies license to have everybody on insurance and not top out their costs, especially when you top out their profit line. I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. They topped out the profit percentage that insurance companies can make from their customers. So it's just better to get people to spend more and more and more, because then they get to make more profit that way. If you can't increase the percentage of your profit, you can increase the actual amount of it by increasing what people spend. And that's what has been happening, you know? So the crazy thing about Obamacare is that it was never meant to make people healthier. If you can look, we've gotten less healthy since Obamacare. And not only have we gotten less healthy, but it has allowed things like they don't need to tell you the price of something. Like you cannot shop around pricing. They just surprise you with the price. We are at a stage now where if they know you have insurance, they make you use it, but it costs you 5 times as much than coming out of your pocket. And I'm going to say this straight up anyway. Spreading the costs of healthcare around to everybody when we live in a country that is majority obese, sedentary, and eats like fucking pigs, that to me is un-American. We have lost our way. This year in 2025, we are estimated at spending $5.6 trillion motherfucking dollars in healthcare, total healthcare burden for the United States citizens. That's taxes, which, by the way, taxes equate to about $1.9 to $2 trillion worth of healthcare. So out of the $5.8 trillion in healthcare expenditure that we have total between insurance, out-of-pocket cost, and taxes, almost $2 trillion of that, twice what the literal defense budget is, which we have the largest defense budget in the fucking world by many times over also. We should not have this. And I know there's going to be many people like, universal health care, what? If we have universal health care, we also have to have universal personal responsibility to stay healthy. And I don't understand how people don't understand this. Like, to have universal health care, it doesn't cost nothing. The people that give you the health care, the people that administer the health care, that administer the drugs, that administer the tests, that administer all those things, they are going to get fucking paid well. And to think that somehow or another you fuckers think that we could have universal health care where people don't come out of their pocket and stuff like that, when we already spend $5.8 trillion fucking dollars, do you know how much it would be to completely just say, all right, everybody, taxpayer, one payer funded thing? There's no way we could pay it. Does people understand how ridiculous it sounds to think that by next year, since we've just also, by the way, added Ozempic, Wegovy, and all these other things that are about to come out in pill form, and they're going to put about 70% of the population on these pills that are then going to go through insurance, increasing insurance costs, increasing out-of-pocket costs. Has it occurred to anybody that we are going to spend somewhere close to $7 trillion motherfucking dollars next year in healthcare? That is insane, especially when you consider that 90% of all those costs are going to be from chronic and mental illness, and 80% of all of that 90% is completely fucking avoidable. So, right, like put it this way: this year, 90% of the $5.6 trillion that we are going to spend in healthcare is chronic illness and mental illness related, and 80% of that is avoidable, mitigatable, or reversible by lifestyle. So we are going to spend as a collective with shared cost. We are going to spend $4 trillion on the people that eat too much, drink too much, and smoke too much in our country. So if you are not one of these people that eat too much, drink too much, and smoke too much, just know that $4 trillion is being spent on that by the people that refuse to have personal responsibility about their own health. And that's just numbers, people. That's just reality. Like, we as a people have socialized healthcare with pain added, basically, because we don't have people taking personal responsibility for their health. We have people looking towards the government to keep them healthy, or the government to feed them. In this last month, between this scare over the hike in premiums, which, by the way, some people are going to spend about $25,000 to $30,000 just on insurance, that doesn't come before their actual deductible, and their deductible is going to go up too. So some family plans are going to run $25,000 and have a $10,000 deductible. So you pay $35,000 out of pocket before they even pay for shit. That's, if you think that that is the government looking out for the people, you are fucked in the head. Like, completely fucked in the head. That is insane to me. Like, totally wild. But also, if you don't see how it is completely oppressive to the American people to force everyone to pay for the basically unwillingness to participate in their own preventative health care, that to me is un-American. That infringes upon my personal liberty. I should not have to pay for you to for the care that you have because you refuse to stop eating fucking ho-hos. I should not be, not $1 of mine should come of that. Very frankly, if it is a chronic illness, lifestyle-driven chronic illness, say you have diabetes and you're 300 pounds, all of your medical expenses should come out of your fucking pocket. All of them. All of them. 100%. The only thing we should have health insurance for is acute injury or illness. Chronic illness is you did that shit to yourself most of the goddamn time and should pay for it. And if you didn't, I'm sorry to say this, but some people do not have good luck. I understand that's fucked up to say, but it goes against what the United States was founded on. The idea of personal liberty. My personal liberty should not be impacted by you not face fucking yourself with pie, like wanting to face fuck yourself with pie every day. My personal liberty should not be impacted by that. So just let's everybody keep that very firmly in mind, because that is a very serious, very, very, very serious issue that we need to be addressing as a people. Extremely, extremely serious. But as the good news rolls out for the American people, and the good news is that it's wild that I, a couple months ago, started talking about HRT for women, and now we're taking the black box label off of it. So for those of you that don't know what a black box label is from the FDA labels like dangerous drugs with black box labels. Now, what's weird is it has been damn near impossible for women to get hormone replacement therapy as they go through perimenopause from the doctor. Like, almost every doctor is like, oh, it's not needed. Oh, this, oh, that, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. Like, if your levels get out of line, and we're going to go over what levels are supposed to be here in a little bit. If your levels get out of line, you should be on HRT. It's wild how our industrial health complex has no issue putting 8-year-olds on estrogen. They have no issue putting 8-year-olds on estrogen for acne, for birth control, for all sorts of shit, right? It's insane to me how we will do that. We'll give, chemical castration drugs to children because they're confused and the parents are mentally fucking ill. But from there, like, it's almost impossible, or has been up until now, almost impossible to get it prescribed to you through your doctor. And a huge part of that is, by the way, just so everybody knows, a huge part of that is they don't teach that shit in medical school most of the time. Most medical schools do not cover testosterone replacement therapy or hormone replacement therapy for women. Just like the vast majority of medical schools do not cover nutrition barely at all. And yet they will have doctors licensed to treat metabolic disorder when they have no idea about nutrition. Also completely fucking backwards. One more time, the healthcare industrial complex should absolutely not be treating chronic illness. They are, in most cases, they are completely out of their depth. I can guarantee you this. My wife and I have reversed more cases of type 2 diabetes than the average physician. By far. Because we've reversed dozens and dozens and dozens of cases of type 2 diabetes. We have gotten many people off of their medications completely. What we do is healthcare. What they do is sick care. They will sustain you through sickness for as long as they can sustain you to keep making money off you, because a customer cured is a customer lost in the healthcare industry. It's a customer lost for me also. But the difference is I'm not the healthcare industrial complex. And I understand that it's my job to try to teach people healthy lifestyles. And if they have a healthy lifestyle and I can help them build habits around sleep, hydration, stress relief, eating their food in a way that is very mindful, occasionally having an indulgence so they don't feel over-restricted, to lead a happy, healthy, fruitful lifestyle, to be hunger-free and happy is what my wife and I do. So in comparison to the healthcare industrial complex, we actually are healthcare. They are sick care. Like what most fitness people do that know what the fuck they're doing, what we do is healthcare. What they do is sick care. That you go to them when you are already sick, or that when you already think you're sick and then they put you on a medication that makes you sick, because that's another thing that fucking happens. However, HRT, back to, before I get too lost in my thoughts here, HRT has been shown to be an incredible, and I do mean incredible, benefit to most women that need it. And I'm going to go over a few of the things. I wrote an article about it, so give me 1 second. There we go. Oops. Let me see if this is right. All right, here we go. So I'm going to add this to my studio like this. We're just going to go over this, right? So this is an article I wrote, and very frankly, it is completely scientifically backed. I would love to hear any of these physicians, try to refute it. I get asked that all the time, like, well, you're not a doctor. No, because I'm normally right about this shit. They're not. And if you don't like that, I don't give a fuck, frankly. But this is proactive hormone management, a lifelong strategy for women's vitality, longevity, and well-being. And the way I've done this is I'm just going to go over, because I've already read this before, but understanding how hormones at play are simply a simple breakdown. Estrogen, often called the female hormone, estrogen is like the conductor of the orchestra, keeping everything in harmony. It regulates your menstrual cycle, the monthly process where your body prepares for pregnancy, blah, blah, blah. So, and then there's progesterone. The hormone acts as estrogen's balancing partner. And then testosterone, which is, yes, women do have testosterone. It's a much smaller thing. It drives libido, those sorts of things, right? So why routine hormone monitoring should be a non-negotiable? And this is what's wild. The doctor will run an entire panel on women, like complete panel. They'll have you smash your tit into a fucking mammogram and irradiate it. Like that's what they actually irradiate your boobs to try to find cancer. But radiating your boobs causes cancer. Look it up if you don't believe me. Mammograms can cause cancer. Look it up. And the cancer that mammograms are designed to find is normally the non-deadly type of cancer. Just putting that out there. It's a fucking joke. The entire healthcare system's a fucking joke, right? So they'll have you do that. They'll scrape your uterus for fucking cells and all sorts of shit. They won't tell you to eat healthy. They won't tell you any of that shit. They might tell you if you're fat to lose weight. They have the reason why that doesn't work really well is because most doctors are fat too, and they have no idea how to fucking lose weight. Just saying. And my evidence behind this is 8 years of coaching people where 40% of my clientele have been doctors, nurses, physician's assistants, CNAs, RNs, those sorts of things. So the goal for this, the monitoring of involves simple blood test measures aim to keep the estradiol around 100 to 200 pg per milliliter. Progesterone, 5 to 15 nanograms per milliliter, and testosterone, 30 to 50 nanograms per deciliter. That is the vitality range of hormones for women. And that is where you should have your doctor get you to. You will feel much better. You will feel younger. You will stave off aging longer, those sorts of things. Like, that is where this should be. Why it was black boxed to begin with. They want you fat, sick, weak, and dependent upon them. They want you fat, sick, weak, and dependent upon them. I want in the chat, or anybody watching, tell me how many times as a woman you have asked to have your hormones checked or have been prompted to have your hormones checked. And they haven't, if you have never been asked, if you've never asked and they've never prompted you and you're in your 40s, get a new fucking doctor. And if you have asked and they've told you it's not necessary, get a new fucking doctor. Go to an HRT clinic and get your fucking shit checked. Because here's the thing, HRT and TRT for men, most men on TRT are on very few other medications. Maybe something like, people might be on Pure Blood as a supplement, because when you're on TRT, this helps thin out your blood, and it takes away the one fucking side effect that is kind of scary, you know? Your hair might quit falling out if you're on HRT? Very possibly. I'm not going to say for sure because I'm not going to diagnose that, but yes, very possibly. Very, very possibly. So let's just keep in mind that this should be a routine thing. Like, every 6 months, you should have your hormones checked. You know, it's weird that we will do blood tests for your cholesterol. Like, they do diagnostic blood tests to tell you what drugs they need to put you on. Like, they will give you diagnostic tests to put you on statins. They will give you oh, well, your LDL is a little high. Statin. They don't even discuss fucking lifestyle. Oh, you're pre-diabetic. Metformin. They don't discuss lifestyle at all. But if you ask for HRT, it's not adequate, or it's not needed or anything like that. It's wild to me. Absolutely wild. The things that this can stave off, by the way. First of all, there's the mental health toll of hormonal decline and how to safeguard against it. Hormonal shifts don't just affect the body, they can profoundly impact mental well-being, but they will put you on antipsychotics or bipolar medication. Like, if you are a woman and you are getting diagnosed with bipolar in your mid-30s, you are very likely in perimenopause, and they are putting you on a medication that's going to fuck you instead of a medication that would absolutely help you. Just straight up. Like, I have known so many women that get all of a sudden put on an antidepressant or even bipolar medications in their mid-30s when very likely they're going through perimenopause, and it's causing a shift in their hormones, therefore a shift in their moods. Women, if you felt more irritable, down, and foggy-headed, and you are not alone, and it's not all in your head, men recognize these signs in your loved ones and urge professional help can be saved. So men out there, if you notice some of these things in your partner, in your wife, in your girlfriend, in your daughter, in your sister, in your aunt, if you notice these things, maybe suggest hormone replacement therapy to them. If they have depression and mood disorders, when estrogen dips, it can disrupt brain chemistry, chemicals like serotonin, the feel-good messenger, increasing the risk of feeling persistently sad or hopeless. Mood disorders are like emotional storms that make daily tasks overwhelming. HRT helps stabilize these levels. Anxiety and negative affect. Anxiety feels like a constant worry or a racing heart, often worsening by hormone fluctuations. Cognitive decline, memory issues, and dementia. So just to be clear, that HRT can help stave off dementia and Alzheimer's. Cognitive decline is a gradual slowing of thinking, like forgetting names and losing focus. Dementia, including Alzheimer's, is severe memory loss that interferes with independence. Estrogen protects the brain areas like the hippocampus, memory center, and early HRT can slow this. Testosterone helps maintain brain structure for better recall. Sleep disorders or insomnia, psychosis or bipolar symptoms. HRT provides stability for these things. Protecting the body, cardiovascular disease, heart failure, and osteoporosis. CVD includes heart disease, strokes, heart failure, those sorts of things. Osteoporosis and bone loss, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, and insulin resistance. All of these things can be avoided or mitigated with HRT. Vasomotor symptoms, hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness, sexual dysfunction, sarcopenia, which is the loss of muscle, fluid imbalances, hypertension, autoimmune diseases, migraines and headaches, endometrial hyperplasia, cancer risks. It can help stave off cancer. So here's reality. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, very frankly, the healthcare industrial complex commits malpractice every single day by not trying to push HRT on people. They do not want you healthy. They want you on as many drugs as they can get you on. If you are on HRT, the likelihood of you staving off diabetes, depression, anxiety, mood disorders, those sorts of things, and even if not, by the way, for depression and anxiety, we medicate that way too fucking fluidly in our society, like way too fucking much. There's no need to have this many people on HRT. Absolutely not. Like, no need to have this many. I mean, not on HRT, but absolutely no need to have this many people on SSRIs, especially when SSRIs for mild to even moderate depression are shown to be no better than placebo. And to be real, if you're out there right now and you went to your general practitioner, said you were depressed, or they asked you if you were depressed or feeling down, and they prescribed you an SSRI, how the fuck does your general practitioner get to prescribe you? A mood disorder thing. They are not trained or fucking qualified to put anybody on any type of bipolar medication, antidepressant. That's not in their fucking training. They can still prescribe it, but tell me how most of the time these people are fucking fucked up in the head to begin with because they are very poor sleep, they're fucking arrogant as fuck, all the things. They're not qualified. A general practitioner is not qualified to be prescribing SSRIs to anybody, and yet they do at a very high rate. And the SSRIs have some very serious potential side effects, which you would go against their oath to do no harm, but the oath has been dead for a long goddamn time, thanks COVID. And this is funny because I see this. I've asked too many times, and I always end up within range, an absolute joke. But are you within the healthy, normalized ranges that I listed off? Because that's the thing. And because if you're not, I would say, well, I want to be on it anyway. If you can go into your doctor's office and take the commercial suggestion and ask them about Ozempic, and then they put you on Ozempic because you asked about it, you can certainly ask about HRT, and they should fucking put you on it. I work in healthcare and psych. You would be surprised how often MDs miss serotonin syndrome. I wouldn't be, actually. I would not be surprised. Yep, you're a little sad they automatically try to put you on pills. Exactly. 100%. They automatically put you on pills. And you know why? Because they get to bill for it, top dollar. See the previous conversation we had about Obamacare. Right? So I don't know why this administration has all of a sudden taken the black box warning off of HRT. I think that that's a very good thing. I do think that that is just, they are going to push it extremely hard, which, if we do it right, can be a very good thing. But I'm also wondering because, it very much appears that this administration has sold out to the pharmaceutical industry very recently. Pharmaceutical ads are still on TV. I voted for them to be taken off. And here's my thing before any of you fucking leftists that watch me all the time because you hate me and feel like you want to send me death threats all the time. Any of you guys, I don't regret my vote because you guys ran a literal fucking clown. And you were running a fucking dementia patient. And then you ran a fucking clown. So I voted for who was not going to destroy the country immediately. But I've always said that Trump is just a backstop for us to get our shit together. And instead, people are just rallying and not getting our shit together. By getting our shit together, I do mean everybody should try to reach optimal health as quickly as fucking possible. Optimal. Not even get in okay shape. Every fucking American should try to reach optimal health. And to do that, we should take away insurance for anybody that is not. Because then they have incentive to do so. Because if we don't, and I do mean this, if we don't, just like I said, in this last month, the government has absolutely shown that they can fuck with us hard. Think about 45 million fucking people bitching because they didn't get their fucking food stamps. Now, don't get me wrong. If you were depending upon those, especially for the people that actually need these things, like the single mothers and stuff like that, are just trying to get by and trying to get off it. They don't want to make it permanent because this should not be a permanent solution. SNAP, Medicare, Medicaid, they should not be a permanent solution. That should be mostly for the fucking elderly, by the way. Like, if you're under 65, we should literally not have you on anything. Like, you should be trying to sustain your fucking self. But they showed it that they could take that away for a month and completely fuck with people. And oh yeah, now they're going to raise your fucking insurance premiums up. And they're going to tell you have to have insurance because to a certain degree, unless the system changes radically, probably 60% of the population needs it because 92% of the population is metabolically unhealthy and 60% of the population is on at least one medication. Think about the doctor's visits involved in that. 60% of the population is on at least one medication. Unfathomable. Literally unfucking fathomable. So, folks, I hope that all of you understand that I am trying my very best to help people get hunger-free, happy. By the way, here's our coaching. This is where we help people get hunger-free and happy. So please hit us up on that. 6 months to get through the holiday season and get healthy, to move into next year and be completely fucking healthy with healthy habits that will keep you at a healthy weight after you've lost all the weight. If you have cycled the same 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds, we are your go-to. You should come to us because if you have lost and gained this same 20 or 30, 40, 50 and up pounds multiple times, it means you are not doing very well at developing a healthy lifestyle, a consistent and relatively easy lifestyle that is healthy, a repeatable, a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. We want you to be hunger-free and happy. We focus on satiation, satisfaction, appropriate fitness level activity, proper sleep, hydration, stress relief, mindful eating of food. We help people build healthy habits. And that is what, this offer is for. It is extremely low priced. It is weekly video calls and daily communication on our app. So please take us up on that. And this is kind of the ending special because we have some big changes coming up that we will not be running specials on. So, and we're very excited about it, but this is kind of the ending of the special. So if you want to get in now. Let's see, Alan, do you think HRT can help with PCOS? Well, weight loss helps with PCOS, and most women that go on HRT do end up losing weight. And it can. I'm not going to say it. I have not read data about it, but it does help with inflammation, those sorts of things, all things that help with PCOS. So can it help? Yes. Is it going to? Definitely. I'm not going to say that because I'm not your doctor, and I don't know exactly if it will. Just putting that out there. I do know that it helps with longevity and, of course, helps with the things I did list off because that is just factual, right? More testosterone while having access to testosterone. Don't know why that with PCOS, I have PCOS myself. More testosterone while having excess of testosterone. Don't know that will help with PCOS myself. Yeah, but HRT doesn't always include testosterone. HRT includes finding the levels of all three and then having some like some women only take estrogen. Some women only take the testosterone. It's not a one size fits all. Like that's why you get your levels checked. Like I'm on a different dose of TRT than Mark is, because we're different people. Like I'm on 200 to keep my levels at 1,000, and he is on I think like 175 to keep his levels at 2,000, something like that. So. And you're right that PCOS does, in fact, increase androgen levels. However, HRT for women is not just testosterone. That's awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. So, folks, I will be back tomorrow, my normal time, noon. I just want to do an evening one this evening because I was running out of time. Yeah, exactly. It's different for everybody. So, wait, hang on. I should get a discount on my insurance if I go to the gym 20 times more a month. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody should. Everybody should. And let's see, progesterone is often lower on PCOS, but high test isn't always presented in it. That's very true also. It does normally have higher levels of androgens, though. That's why they develop beer gut, just like men do most of the time. But folks, I hope you have a great, great, great night. I am Alan Roberts. I will be back tomorrow. I hope all of you have a fabulous evening. Make sure to check out the coaching. It is in one more time right here, and I will put it in the description box below, and I'll also put it in the pinned comment of this chat. Thank you very much. God damn.